Well, good afternoon. It's a lovely warm Friday afternoon here in Brackley. This is Jenny McCormack from Gemini Crafts. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hi to Molly, I can see has joined us, and Pauline. So hi to you lovely ladies. My little tablet thing is not playing the game, but there we go. I can blame the heat, that's for sure. So hi Molly, hi Tracy, hi Pauline, looks like Jeanette. Oh, jolly good, Pauline. Hi Jacqueline. Have you made a start with your card in a box, or is it too warm, Pauline? And did you find the sticker sheets I popped in? Hi Jeanette. Right, it's certainly a warm day. I can't believe we're on Friday afternoon already. I don't know where this week has gone. It's just bizarre. But let us see if I can get the system to work. There we go. Everything's happening. Oh, hi Sarah. Hi Lucy. Jeanette, Tracy, Jacqueline I've said, Pauline I've said. Excellent. So lovely to have you join me this warm afternoon. So Friday is our Friday fun session. So this is very much designed for beginner card makers and crafters. Hi Alison, hi Linda. So it usually requires little or no specialist equipment, and this week we've been featuring animals all week. So we've had zebras, we've had goats, we've had dogs, we've had cats, and now we're going under the sea for a bit of cooling off. And I'm actually only going to use the papers that come with the series. So let me get rid of those comments on here because I can see you now, hopefully. Okay, so this is called Whale of a Time. It's a suite of products that features some fantastic papers, which I will show you. Let me show you in the catalogue. Now I know you can't see all of that in one go, but it is a complete suite. It's great fun. So it does consist of a stamp set and dies, so you would need a die cutting machine. But today I'm just going to use the papers because the papers on their own are amazing. So these are some of the samples, and I appreciate you can't see those in detail. So this is on page 94 to 96 of the main annual catalogue. Hi Monica, hi Scylla. And you can see some of the samples there. And they have used the papers in the majority of those cases, and they've added a few bits and pieces from the stamp set, which I will show you. So these are the papers here. So they are 6 by 6 inch papers, but you get 48 papers in a pack. Let me just show you the stamp set here. I'm hoping you can see that. So it's a really good value stamp set, £16. So you could create a lot of cards even just with the stamp set itself. So as you can see, you've got a whale, you've got a turtle, you've got little fish in a little shoal, you've got jellyfish, a cute little seahorse, and then you've got some reeds here and here, a little bit of coral, a little heart, and some bubbles. And then you've got some fun sentiments. Hoping all your birthday fishes come true. Hi Moretta. My love for you is bigger than the ocean. Well done. Thanks a ton. And you're kind of a big deal. So really good fun. What I do like is the pricing, because the stamp set is 16, but if you buy it with the dies, it's still less than £30. So the stamp set and the dies together are £29.50. No, not dies, just ignore that altogether. It's a punch. I beg your pardon. So the punch punches out the whale, and it also has a little splash, I don't know if you can see that, and the underbit and the fin of the whale. So these are the components of the punch. So which is why it's £29.50, which is really good value. So there's the stamp set, the papers, and then we also have this C embossing folder, which is gorgeous. You can't really see it, and I don't have it to show you, I'm afraid, but it's yeah, like a seabed. That's the only way I can describe it. You can see a little bit of it on the pages there. So 94 to 96 in the catalogue. So let me show you the papers, because that's really what I'm going to feature today. So as you would expect, these are double-sided papers, and both sides are fantastic, to be honest. So we've got reeds on this one, and then on the other side you've got these cute little shoals of fish in the reeds. Now some of these papers are designed to be cut into quarters so that they fit on our little 3" by 3" cards. So we have these little cards, and we have 3" by 3" envelopes, obviously just a little bit bigger. So if you were doing party invitations, what fun would this be, especially for children's parties, just to take some of these papers, chop them into 4, pop them on there, and then just put a little note that says you're invited with the information inside. It would make great birthday cards too, but I think that is just so sweet. We've then, and these are in no particular order, we've then got this gorgeous shoal of fish, and this always reminds me of Finding Nemo, even though they're, you know, they're not the same types of fish. That's on one side, and also you can have that going any which way you wanted, like so. And on the reverse of that is some coral colours. Now I can see that this is not particularly focusing, so let me lift these up to the camera. So we have this one here, so picture of a seabed. This would make a perfect card just in its own right, wouldn't it? There's that one, and on the reverse of there you've got the shoals of fish in the jade green. Then we have another picture of the seabed with some reeds and corals, and I like the light shining down from the top. And on the reverse of there, the same as this one, but in our other in colour, in Bumblebee. This is sweet as well. A little bit of everything. So we've got the whales, we've got the jellyfish, you've got crabs, you've got turtles, seahorses, some little shells and things in there. So again, you could easily cut that into 4, and then a really deep blue seascape. Here's another one that reminds me of that film. Other films are available. Hello Claire, thanks for joining us. And Carol, thanks for joining us too. It is a hot afternoon. So again, you could easily cut that in half, and you could in fact cut it in quarters and still have fish on each of those panels. And on the reverse of there we have the seaweed, but that could also be just general foliage. Then we have the large whales mixed with the small whales, okay, in various different colours. So you've got Blackberry Bliss, looks like Pretty Peacock, and Just Jade. And on the back of there, another scene. So again, you could cut that in half and you've got two complete scenes. So they've really thought about how you could use this paper. And what I do like is that it's 6x6. So normally, if this was scaled for 12 inches by 12 inches, the images would be huge. Great for scrapbooking. If you've got somebody who loves diving and tropical fish and you know, that sort of adventure, it would be perfect, but too big for card making. So I like that they scaled everything down for this size of paper. So here we have the crabs on the bottom of the sea, on the seabed there, with some weed, and then just some weed at the top, and again you could easily cut that up. And then more of the coral in Calypso Coral. More turtles. Okay, like this one here facing in. And then that sort of, it's almost like netting, but just a sort of general background in Bumblebee. Then we have seahorses. Again, these are cute. Easily cut that up into smaller panels. And then some waves. And then, nearly there, some jellyfish. Okay, nice bright colours. Really, the whole sequence is really brightly coloured. And then that lovely peacock. And then finally, our last design of paper features the large whales, little fish, and then on the reverse, some more sea. So some really fabulous papers. All of these papers are in my new paper share, details of which are on this page. So you can hop onto there and have a look afterwards. So this is a quarter of a pack. So in your full pack, if you wanted this paper, you'd get sorry Linda, you'd get 4 each of each of those, so you get 48 sheets for £10.75, and I think that's really good value, because if you wanted to make loads of cards for a children's party or something like that, you don't even need to invest in the stamp set, just buy the papers. Okay, but you could buy the punch as well, of course, if you wished. So I had a thought. The suggestion in the catalogue was to put these onto some 3x3 cards. So these are 3 inches by 3 inches. I've actually manually cut these myself, but we do have some white cards and matching envelopes. So what I was thinking of doing, it's difficult to choose the papers, but you could literally have that cut into 4, just seeing if I prefer another one. I'm just going to do 2. You don't need to see me do all 4 because they'll all be the same. This one would also work. Just cut like that with a sentiment. I mean, they would all work, wouldn't they, really? And then I've also thought I would do a large card, cutting out the whales from here, or a couple of the whales from here, and then with a sentiment. The problem is, it's all just so nice. So I was thinking of finding one of the scenes. Sorry, I'm rustling through this too much. So, for example, like this scene here, and then adding in some of the whales, or even this one on a standard sized card. And the nice thing about that is, even if you cut that element off, you've still got this element here that you could use as a background. Can you post that size? Well, I did do. I posted it to myself relatively recently, and it came through the next day, even though it was second class. So yes, but I don't think it's a recommended size, and I certainly wouldn't post it at Christmas because I think it might well get lost. But I mean, you could just put it in a slightly bigger envelope, one of the square envelopes that I use, if you wanted to be 100% sure. So all I'm going to do is just pick one of these for my scene and then cut out a whale and put a birthday message on it, just to show you how quick and easy and how you can do it without the stamp set. So it's on my list of stamps, but it's not one I've purchased yet. So I'm just going to go with this one, like so, and then I'm going to do the little cards after, because I've got something new to show you to work with those. So this is very much simple crafting. So if you're at home with families, you could literally just buy the pack of paper, have some scissors to hand. So don't forget, this is in the annual catalogue, so it does last right the way through to next May. So don't panic. If it's on your list, it'll keep. You can always just buy the papers for now and get the stamps and stuff later on if you find that you use it. So what I'm going to do is cut this down to a card size. And because we're doing it as simple crafting, I'm not even going to put a border on it. So our standard card size is 10.5 centimetres. So I'm going to cut this to 10 centimetres, like so. So I've got another panel here I can use. And because this is 6 inches, I'm going to cut this down to 14.35. Sorry, that's in centimetres. So that I can layer that onto a card. And I was thinking perhaps either a coral or the peacock colour would look good. Just going to leave it like that for the minute. And then all I'm going to do is so Linda is one of my lovely team. And you can see her comment there. I made her fall in love with it, she says. This happens so often when you're a demonstrator, though, I'm afraid. Right, I'm looking for some large. I could add a turtle as well if I wanted to, and a whale. So I'm just going to fussy cut these with a pair of scissors. Okay, simple. And I'm just going to be a little bit careful which one I choose. So I could get away with this one if I just cut that little bit of fin off. Obviously these are cut off already, so what I would do is, you know, cut out the main ones here and then use the edges for punching something out. So let's try this one here. I'm going to cut fairly tight in just to start with. So I'm just using our sharp paper snips. These are great for paper cutting. If you have very young children though, they are very sharp, so please be careful. So all I'm going to do is just fussy cut around here. Oh, I had forgotten about that. I have quite a few customers and demos who are or have been snorkelers. So I've just cut that little tip off to round it, so although it was cut off the paper, it will still work. Okay, so a fairly simple shape to cut. For those of you who know me, I'm not a big fussy cutter. You know, it needs to be fairly straightforward. I don't have the inclination to sit and cut things out. unless they're simple. If it comes with a punch, it's even better. How cute is that whale? Just like all the bubbles and the shading is all done for you. There we go. Lifting that off like that. I am a bit of a tease, I am sorry. Hey ho, but it keeps me on my toes. So I think I'm going to have a turtle as well. Why not? Although the turtle is, I need to choose a smaller one because otherwise it's bigger than the whale. So I think I'm going to choose maybe this one here. Still quite big, but I could have the whale further away, couldn't I? I could even do this one here and just literally put it at the top, so the fact that it's cut off wouldn't matter. But I'm just going to cut round this one here. And the reason I cut round it, even though this is sort of on a corner, is that you might want to cut this edge off and use that pattern paper on the back. Hi Julie. Yes, great for boy cards. And anybody really who likes, you know, adventure and sea, and, you know, lots of people like marine life. If they were a David Attenborough fan, you know, anything like that really. So I'm just going to fussy cut around this gorgeous turtle. So I think Linda's singing Under the Sea to herself, she said. So I say the papers and the suite are called Whale of a Time. Hi Brenda. Thanks for popping in this afternoon. So I'm just fussy cutting these fantastic papers, Brenda, to make a little aquarium well, it can't be an aquarium with a whale in it, can it really? But an underwater scene. So you get these papers as part of my paper share. If you're interested, just look at the Facebook post from this morning. Just going to round that little bit off. Like so, and then just take that little bit out of there. So you can either take your time doing this or do it really quickly. It's just as well you can't hear me singing. I won't sing, don't worry. It's a shame we can't. I should put I should have put the music on in the background, but it's I expect it's all copyrighted, isn't it? I expect. Okay, so and what I'm going to do is pop him up onto some dimensionals like so. So obviously you could build up a complete scene cutting out lots of turtles or lots of whales. Might have him coming in the front and then stamp a birthday message there and then put the whole thing onto a card. So for anybody who joined us after the beginning, these are the papers that we're using. These fantastic Whale of a Time. This is perhaps one of my favourites. Because as you could see, you could have, you know, you can make a beautiful big square card with, you know, somebody's name in the middle or numbers or something. Anyway, page 94 to 96 in the main annual catalogue. Okay, so I'm going to use some dimensionals. I'm also going to run a pen around the edge of those, just in case I've got any white edges showing. Actually, it's quite dark anyway, but I'm just taking my blends pen, this is a dark grey, and just running it around the edge here to hide the white edge of the card, like so. There we go. So there's that one. So just watch your fingers until that's dry. So I'm going to do the same on this one. So I could choose a different colour. I could pick out that Blackberry Bliss if I wanted to, but I just don't want it to look white. Oh, I know, Carol. I was thinking if only I knew of a local little lake to hop into. So if you do any, even if you do die cutting of something and it's got a white edge, just run a blends pen. You could use a marker pen, you could use a Sharpie, you know, any pen really, and it just takes the edge off that white and it just makes it look more like it was designed in that way. Okay, so let us find, I'm thinking just a birthday sentiment will do the job. My go-to peaceful moments with happy birthday. Life is better with a friend like you would be cute, wouldn't it? With two of those facing each other. But I'm just going to go for a... or am I? I could have life is better with a friend like you. Yeah, let's do that because it's nice thin piece across the top, isn't it? Oh, bless you, Linda. I think under the circumstances for you today, I think that would be fantastic. Don't you? Okay, so life is better with a friend like you. It's going to go there, and then I'm going to arrange my animals, my mammals here. And I'm going to use quite tempted to use Blackberry Bliss ink because this is Blackberry Bliss here, or Peacock because this is this blue of the peacock. Ooh. So this is Blackberry Bliss. I think I'm going to try that because also matches my little turtle there. Like so. I think you could have, just buy this paper, I think you have just great fun with it. I really do. And if you've had so much fun, then buy the stamp set. It's beautiful like me and I deserve it. Yes! Quite right, Linda. We all deserve a little bit of looking after and treating. Right, I'm just going to have a look and see what this looks like. Yep, that will do nicely. It's quite a light Blackberry Bliss. I need to re-ink it, but I think I'm going to go with it. Let me move these out of the way. Move this up a little bit. Move that out of the way. There we go. So a good amount of pressure. There we are. And we're going to pop these up on dimensionals. but I want to pop this onto a base layer first. So I'm thinking I might go Blackberry Bliss, keep that all together if I can find one to hand. And indeed I can. There we go. So that's going to go straight onto there. So as I said, because this is simple crafting on Friday, I'm not going to add extra layers or anything else. So this is something you could even just write the sentiment if you wanted to and cut out from the papers. Hi Carol, with an E. We've got our 2 Carols here today. So got my Seal Plus here, 1, 2. I don't think I need to do quite as much as that because it's very strong glue. Let's pop that on there. Now because I'm using a Blackberry Bliss card, I will put an inner in here. There we go. To be honest, even that on its own, I know the sentiment wouldn't work because there's nothing else on there, but and let's put some dimensionals on here. I hope you're well, Carol, with an E. And if you wanted to, you could pop these onto a little piece of thin card before you cut them out. If you wanted them a little bit sturdier. So I'm just using a corner edge really for my little turtle. And you could cut out as many of these as you wanted. Or as you could manage. So I'm thinking I'd like one up here. Go, and this one up here. Hello Lynn. Maretta says to Linda, hint at the other sets you like. I'm not sure it would work. Okay, I'm just wiggling this a little bit to soften it up. Ah, that's okay, no worries Carol. So I've just bent that round a little bit. And I think I'm going to have the whale up here so that it obviously ties in with that, but also we don't detract from our beautiful scenery underneath. Let me put an inner on there, like so. And if you had any spare little fish from your papers, for example, then you could add those, you know, so you could use, whoops, so I've got a little corner here, you could have that down the side. I might do that in a second. So, you know, make use of all your spare little bits, you know, keep them in the little packet it came in, unless you've got any other thing. So I'm thinking I might just put that on there because I have it, or on the right hand side, on the left. So just do that. Let me just move that up a little bit. It's going on a tiny piece of card, so I'm just literally going to put that actually right on the edge. Sometimes I leave a little gap, but this one I think is going to go right on the edge, like so. So it's almost like the scenery is wrapping around. Well, it's not whatnot. Yes, I think that's a great idea, Linda. So for anybody who doesn't know, if you order more than £200 worth of products at the moment, you will normally get at least 20, well, you'll get £20 extra that you can spend on whatever products you like. But at the moment, till the end of June, that goes up to £40. So you'd have £40 to spend if you wished. And that's available to anybody, demonstrators and to new customers, or customers I should say. I'm just getting rid of that little bit of glue right over glued it. So the seal was wider than my little strip, so there was a little bit of glue left on the side. There we go. So there we have it. There's our first Friday fun card. Life is better with a friend like you. So that set is from the set that matches the poppies, and then I've just literally used the papers for that. Carol sat with a cuppa. That's a good idea. I'm going to have a nice cold drink when I'm done. So there's number one. Hope you can see that. And the other, so the suggestion in the catalogue, let me just crease that edge, which I literally saw as I opened it today, because I came in from being out all morning and I hadn't prepared anything. But it says on page 96, some of the patterns on the Whale of a Time paper are ideal for 3" by 3" cards. Simply cut the paper to size and use it as a background, and this is what they've done here. So that's what I'm going to do for my second lot of cards. Absolutely, waste not, want not. It is fun set, isn't it, Brenda? So if you love, you know, whales and things like that, then, and jellyfish and stuff, then the stamp set is great. So all I was going to do is take some 4x4 cards. I'm just 3x3" cards. I've just got 2 because you don't need to see me replicate all 4. But I haven't done a very good job of folding these. I grabbed these out of my little box that has 3x3 cards, so they weren't even cards that I've cut today. There we go. So what I was thinking is I do rather like these with the scene because I like the size of that, but to be honest, you could use absolutely any of these. The seahorses are gorgeous, aren't they? So, and as are the jellyfish. So I mean, you know, there's 48 sheets. Somebody tells me what 4 lots of 48 are. 160, what's 32? 192 cards you could make. That'd be some party, wouldn't it? Oh, Linda, of course. So the whole suite is actually really good value. Let me see. I did look it up beforehand. So the whole suite is £61, and that is the stamp set, the punch, the sequins, the papers, the embossing folder, and it also has some sheer ribbon as well. This ribbon looks absolutely gorgeous. Very sheer, fine ribbon. Great for bowing ties. Great for tying bows because it ties really well. And the sequins have little shells and things in them as well. They're really cute. So the whole bundle is £61, Linda. And the number, if you want it, is here, 154126. Okay, and that will get you everything, or just the stamp set. And punch is £29.50. So I'm just going to cut these up now so that I can do other things with these. I'm not going to cut these into quarters. I'm just going to cut a square off the top. So let me just check that this is indeed 3 inches. It is. So I'm going to cut this to 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So I've got a little border all the way around. So what I do with our trimmer here is I put the paper in to 2 3/4, and then I appreciate you probably can't see it, but if I just drop this down, can you see we have a scale here on the right hand side? So what I can do is cut down to 2 3/4 using this guideline. Okay, so I'll just end up with that corner. Obviously, if you were just cutting it into 4, you could cut it right the way down and then right the way across, and then you'd have a strip left over, because obviously this is 6 by 6. So I know that is 2 3/4 there, and 2 3/4 is here, and there is a little marker on the blade that you can line up. Okay, so that is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. Okay, and if I turn that over, I can cut at 2 3/4 from the edge to that point. And again, you can use the guidelines there. Okay, so this keeps this whole piece intact. Alright, so I'm going to do that one. It's quite sweet as well. But I want to do the seahorses. No. I want to do the jellyfish. Just because that's quite wacky, isn't it? Although they're all at an angle. But let's do it anyway. So again, 2 3/4, and I'm going to take this down to 2 3/4, and I appreciate you can't see that. Now we do also now have a metric ruler of this, so if you prefer to measure in metric, then you can just purchase the new ruler and interchange it. It just hops out at the top. Okay, so those are my 2 pieces that I'm going to use, like so, and so they're just going to be mounted on here. I could put a layer behind it, but I'm not going to. And then I've got my jellyfish going up here. And what I thought I would do, they do swim at an angle. Good point, Linda. Is let me stick these down to start with, so it's done. Like so. So I'm having them open to the right hand side. I've got a little bit of a border, so the card is cut 3 inches square, so 3 inches by 6 inches, which I folded in half. And the paper I've cut at 2 3/4 inches by 2 3/4 inches. You can make it a little bit bigger if you wished, but I was happy with that. Okay, I've discovered with the seal and the Seal Plus, if it just stops threading through, just roll it up very slightly. Which way should we have our jellyfish? Going that way. Okay, so there's our 2 cards. And then what I thought I would do is use something. So this is moving away a little bit from a simple card, because I wanted to introduce our fun alphabet. So this is called Playful Alphabet Dies, and these are approximately 3/4 of an inch high, possibly anything up to an inch. So there's a J there. They're all capital letters and numbers, and you get a few symbols as well. So you've got a hashtag, you've got an equals, you've got a little flower, and then you've got some European letters. So you've got C with a cedilla as well. You've got a question mark and an exclamation mark. Now what I like about these is the size is perfect for card making, but more importantly we have duplicate letters. So for example, if I wanted Jenny, I've got a J, an E, and then if I could even see one N, it would be good. There's one. Yeah, there's one. And there's the other. So you can put letters, words together really easily. So there's like 2 E's, there's 2 A's, and I do like the fact you get the numbers. So we haven't had any dies with numbers or alphabets for a good 2 years, I think. The last, well, we just retired some recently, but they were all lowercase, and I'd much rather have uppercase if I had to. And let me just find you the page, because they are really good value and I haven't written them down, for which I apologise. So you do need a die cutting machine for this. And our new little die cutting machine will be perfect, because you can just put in little strips of card. Sorry for flicking through. Here they are. Playful Alphabet, £32, and you get 58 dies. Yeah, 3/4 inches they are. And then you get duplicates of A, E, I, L, N, O, P, R, S and T. Obviously they're the most popular letters. So it does make it a lot easier if you want to do somebody's name. So I was just going to do hi on mine, but I want to show you a new product that goes with it as well. So I'm just going to take H and I. This is the hardest bit, isn't it? Finding the letters. So here's an H, and what I do like about the sheets is they printed the alphabet on the back, so you know when you've got one missing. Now if you can see that, so there's the I and there is the H. It's the shape of the die, not necessarily you know, because the H looks a bit weird on there. So I'm just going to do hi, simple as that. And I thought I'd do these in Pacific Point, because there's blue flowers there with Pacific Point. And I have, actually this is Blueberry Bushel, but pretend it's Pacific Point. It's out of my scraps box. So all I'm going to do is cut a small piece of this. And I'm going to have the word hi. Now what you could do is make this work really well for you by cutting this to a nice size beforehand and then running that through your die cutting machine, so you end up with the H and the I, which you can take out, and then you end up with that as a solid background. Does that make sense? So I'm just going to tidy this piece up. I know that the height of the letters are 3/4 of an inch. Whoops, that's if I don't lose everything. There's 1 inch. So I'm just going to make this slightly smaller, like so. So what I'm going to do is cut this out, keeping those in line, so that I end up with both the positive and the negative. So you could do two effectively at the same time, if that makes any sense. Okay, so there's two things I can use to stick these down, because using these are notoriously difficult, although these are quite a good size, for adding the glue. So two things we have available now. One is adhesive foam sheets. So if I said to you this was a pack of dimensionals before they cut the dimensionals out, so it's a huge double-sided foam pad. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 complete sheets in a pack, like so, just like a huge dimensional. So what I'm going to do is cut a piece and put it on the back, so that when I run it through the die cut, it will cut, hopefully, both the letter through the card and the adhesive. So that's my theory. So we'll try that together. And then the other thing we have, which we used to hold ages ago, but we had stopped holding, and this is adhesive sheet. So this is the same thing, but instead of being foam, it's just double-sided adhesive. So it would go flat as opposed to high, if that makes any sense. So what I'm going to do is just cut this piece to size, and I actually want to cut it just slightly smaller, so I'm just literally using this as a guideline, bringing it off the edge because I don't want it to show above my piece of card. I want it to be hidden in there. So can you see? I've literally cut it just very slightly smaller, and then I'm going to stick this on the back of the card like so. So I've taken one layer of the paper off, okay, and then I'm going to cut through this. Now I haven't done this before, this is the first time I've used both the adhesive sheets and the alphabet letters. So let us see how we get on. So all I'm going to do is, in a second, is line those up properly and run them through my die cutting machine. So I won't bring the whole machine up, but I'll just show you how I'm going to lay it. So this is rather well used, so I do apologise. Can't wait to be able to order our new one, which we will be able to very soon. Okay, so I'm going to position that on there. Put my little eye on there. Now if I was doing this really accurately, I would put a little bit of washi tape on, maybe just hold those into place. Just going to leave it like that for the minute. Pop this layer on and run it through. So let us see. What we have. There we go. Yep, so it's cut right the way through to the back. So there's our H and our I. So I'm thinking, don't know which is the best way to pull it. If I was clever, I don't want to have to re-line it up, do I? So let's be clever about this. Let's take this one and peel the backing off the H and the I only. 1, 2. So I've just run this through with the foam and the card in one go, just a single pass. Put this at the bottom right hand side. So all I've done is taken off the glue for those, and my theory is this should then come off. Yes! How cute is that? What do we think, folks? Oh, my battery's going. Hold on. I'm hoping I've saved it in time. Whew. My phone is very hot. Are you all still there? Okay, let me know that I'm not talking to myself. So that way we've now got another high that we could put on there. If you wanted to, you could put a colour behind it. Oh, thank you, Brenda. To make that stand out. Now I know this is probably the wrong colour. Let's see what I've got here. Just thinking, if you put it onto a piece like that, you would see it a little bit better, wouldn't you? I don't think I want blue though. Coral would be nice, but I haven't got a piece of coral to hand. Let me have a look. If I just put the red behind it for the moment. Yeah, so you could use the negative if you wished, okay, or you could just cut multiples of those out. So the other trick you can do with this is to mount these together with a piece of washi tape. So if you wanted to do 10 of these, you don't want to be lining this up 10 times. What you might. So what I would do is take some washi tape. So I've got some washi tape here. Find the edge. A lot of people have washi tape hanging around. We don't have very much in our catalogues anymore. I think it just wasn't as popular as it used to be. I think it's sort of gone out of fashion a little bit. But then what I would do is stick that like that. Okay. So what I'll do is show you the other adhesive so you can see. Let me get a different colour. I'm thinking Blackberry Bliss for that one. Ooh. What was the other colour? Coral, wasn't it? Sorry, let's try. I couldn't see Blackberry Bliss, but I've got a coral colour. So I could do the same thing, but I'm just going to cut out a small piece. So this time I'm going to use self-adhesive sheets rather than the foam. So just to show you the difference, really. Opa. So if I can find them, here they are. So the foam pads, you get 5 in a pack. These you get 12, and they look like they're 12 inches by 6 inches, so it'll last you a long time. This is great for making stickers. If you've got children or grandchildren, you want to make stickers, just put this on the back before you punch anything out. So you could make whale stickers, for example. So we have a peel back layer here. So what I'm going to do is peel this off. And again, I'm just going to have my piece over the edge. Okay, that's a sticky bit. Like so. Okay, just give it a good bit of burnishing. And then I'm just going to cut round it, and the reason why I'm going to cut round it, I could have actually just cut this piece out, with the paper shut, is so that you don't get glue on your scissors. So here is my layer with the sticky piece on here. So just like I did with the foam, I put it on the back of my piece. And I'm actually just going to trim that little bit off because I don't want to glue everything up. So turn that over. I'm going to take my high. So I have to think about which way round that H should be. Oh, it's that way, isn't it? So there we go. So can you see, by putting it onto some washi tape, you don't have to keep lining it up. Alright, eventually that washi tape will, you know, wear off, and just add another layer or something. Okay, so just to hold those in place, I'll pop that through the Big Shot in exactly the same way. So a standard Big Shot layer. So I'm just going to pop it onto here. Okay, and then put my sandwich on the top. Hello, Molly. Oh, has everybody gone and come back? Who knows? Okay, let's just pop this through. There we are, so you can see it's gone right the way through. And all I'm going to do is the same thing. So I'm just going to peel off the H. Going to put that back, peel off from the H and the I. Now, because this is obviously not foam, it hasn't stuck into the die in the same way. I'm trying to get that back in without it sticking to my fingers. Okay, we're in. Do the same with this one then, so I can just pick up the edge and not the card. Okay, so the sticky is attached to the back of the card, like so. There we go. Wow. Hi Zoe, nice to see you. Oh, nice to have you join us, I should say. So with this one here, just going to do the same thing. I'm hoping it's going to stay in there. We'll soon find out. So press that down and then lift up. Yes, there we go. So you don't have to realign it every single time, you can just literally stick it down. So the foam worked quicker because there was more depth and it stuck in the die, but you get the same effect. So just using the self-adhesive sheets keeps it flat. If I do that, and using the foam, it raises it up. So these foam is the same height as our dimensionals. Okay, so it's like one complete sheet of dimensionals. So you could cut circles out of here and use them for little circular pieces. You could cut strips out of here. If you don't like our thick foam strips, which are higher, you could just cut some strips out of there. But it's perfect for die cutting. So peel off one side, pop your piece of card on, die cut it through the machine, and then literally just take the tape off the letters, push the whole thing down like so, and then pick that up and you'll leave the letters behind. And then you've got another high here that you can put on another card. Okay, so there we go. So nice and straightforward. So just using the papers. This was the first card we did here. So I have stamped "Life is better with a friend like you" in Blackberry Bliss to match this seaweed here, and then I cut the whale and the turtle straight from the papers. So that was my first card. And then this little piece I trimmed off has gone on the inside. And then for these two cards, I've literally just taken the pieces of paper. You could cut them easily into 4 and have a strip left over. I just cut a corner off each one, which I'll show you here using our trimmer. It's really easy to do. Okay, and then I cut out the letter. So this could be somebody's name, it could be an age for a party, you know, whatever you want it to be. Okay, so the bundle that we've used is called Whale of a Time, and I have, as I said, just used the papers. The alphabet that I used is good value in its own right, which is this one here, and I do like the fact that this is printed, so when you've finished doing your die cutting, and remember now we've got another high there that we can use, then you're just going to put the letters back on. So this has got like a tape behind it, not as strong as the tape used to be, where you used to demolish half of the paper trying to get it out, and those can go back onto there. So this set of dies is £32, but you can buy it as a bundle, and then I'm going to tell you how you can get that for free. So the Playful Alphabet, I'm hoping you can see that okay, is £32. You can buy it with a matching stamp set at $42.25, which is a 10% saving off the list price of both of those. I like what they've done here, made it look like an old-fashioned name board. Remember going to corporate places and seeing your name up on the board. Good fun. But you can buy the two, so the stamp set is on page 102. Let me just show you that quickly, and then I'll round up. So I'm sure you've had enough of me this week. So this is the pattern play, so lots of different patterns, and you've got these lines, which is great for putting the letters on. It matches that exactly. So you can buy the bundle, or if you are interested in becoming a demonstrator and joining my team, and for that all you have to do is have a love of crafting. You don't have to physically demonstrate if you don't want to. All we ask is that you share your love of crafting with somebody. So it could just be a friend, it could be a neighbour, it could be a family member. Just share what you do with people. And the starter kit for joining is entirely your choice of products for £99. You get to choose £130 of products, but till the end of June you also get to choose your own complete bundle. So you could have this alphabet set plus the stamp set absolutely free, so £42.25, on top of your £130 of products. So £172.25 for £99. So you can choose any bundle. Alright, so these are the alphabet ones. You could choose the whale punch, for example, with the matching stamp set. You could use any of the new ones as well. Anything in the catalogue that is a bundle you can get for free if you join as a demonstrator before the end of June. And now I do know a lot of my team are here watching, which is lovely. Thank you for your support. So Tracy, Moretta, Linda, who else is here that's in my team? Oh, Carol. That's Carol W. See if there's anybody else. I'm just scanning back through the comments to see who's there, so apologies if you're in my team. Oh, Lynn Eaton is one of my team. So we have great fun as a team. We're really supportive of each other. whether you're crafting for yourself or whether you want to run in the future, run classes or coffee and card or anything. We welcome all levels of crafters. If you've been a demonstrator before, you're most welcome to join us again. Always welcome. So if you're, oh thank you Linda, if you're interested in joining my team, taking part of that offer, so that offer does run out end of June, then just send me a private message and I can send you the information. Absolutely no obligation to join. So if you just want to find out a little bit more, then do just message me. I've got some question and answer sheets. Thank you Moretta. Yeah, just give me a shout and we can either have a natter over the phone or I can just send you the information, and then all you need to do is an online link. Just choose your shopping list of products up to £130, add your free bundle and you're good to go. So thank you so much for joining me. I seem to have gone on rather a lot for Friday afternoon. So this was our Friday fun. A little bit of some cute cards. These are 3-inch cards and we do have the cutest little envelopes to match. So they will fit in like that. And as I said before, I have posted them to myself and they have arrived. But if it's something special, then please don't post too many that are small. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Have a great weekend, everybody. All of this information of all the products, including the foam adhesive and everything, is in the new catalogue. Shout if you haven't got a copy and you would like one. And that really is enough from me today. So thank you so much for joining me. Look after yourselves, look after your loved ones, won't you? And stay safe and keep crafting. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate all your support. You can catch me on YouTube as well. Just look for Jenny McCormack or Gemini Crafts. Thanks so much, everybody. Oh, and Scylla. Yeah, Scylla's one of my team too. And Tracy. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.